Tomorrow is back, bringing you fantasy football advice today to help you win your leagues tomorrow. Now, before we get into the video, don't forget to like, hit that bell, and subscribe. And like our last person did, Aaron Gates, comment, because we will feature your fantasy football trades on the podcast. And he had a really interesting one last week that Aaron Gates posted. So thank you for commenting with this. We were talking about Jalen Hurts and how he was a sell candidate. He sold Tyreek Hill and got Jalen Hurts and Chris Godwin. So I kind of want to dive into that. Do you want to start with it?
I think that could work out really well for him. However, I think that Tyreek Hill is a top 3 wide receiver rest of the season, as well as he's been a top 3 wide receiver as of now. I don't know if I would make that trade specifically, but if you were going to be upgrading drastically at quarterback, now you don't have to worry about streaming.
He did mention, by the way, he was averaging under 14 points a game with his current QB. So it is obviously a big upgrade. He didn't have one of those upper echelon QBs. Yeah,
no, I mean, I totally understand. I was in a league where I had 3 points, 5 points, 7 points, 0 points, negative points on my quarterback position. I ended up still winning every single game. Just because my other positions were so strong, and I didn't trade my depth for it. Instead, I signed Geno Smith on the waiver wire, and I've been pretty happy because I've gotten 25, 25, and 28 this week from him. So it really depends on the team and the situation. If you had a lot of depth and it's not going to hurt him, it only help him. That's the important part of the trade.
He did say that as well. He had depth at the wide receiver position.
Perfect. Yeah, no, that's good because basically, if it helps your team in a trade, just do it. Like, I mean, there's really no reason not to. If that's going to make his team better, yeah, do it.
He's going to score more points, I think, by upgrading to Jalen. I mean, obviously this week Jalen Hurts, Tyreek Hill went off, but Hurts had touchdowns, exactly.
He still didn't have a crazy game though.
He's in that like different QB echelon with like Josh Allen, where the other QBs are a huge tier down. So I did like this trade because he's still getting a top 36 overall player with Chris Godwin. And he's getting Jalen Hurts to bump his lineup. Yes, it is hard to replace, and I almost 90% of the time I will tell you never to trade a top echelon, top 5 to 8 guy because they're so irreplaceable. But in this one instance, I think he did a very good job. So
with that, I have a question for you. Just because I literally offered a trade to get Jalen Hurts, so I can trade Jalen Hurts for Justin Herbert straight up. What I was going to offer to get Jalen Hurts in the first place was Ramondre Stevenson and George Pickens before he goosed. The guy ended up saying yes, but the guy who ended up that I was going to trade Jalen Hurts for Justin Herbert said no, and because he thought it was for some reason not good. I mean, he might be looking at the playoffs, but this guy had 1 win in the season, so I was giving him the bye week win, I feel like. And on top of that, that's why one thing to note too is Justin Herbert has the juiciest playoff schedule you can possibly imagine for a quarterback, which is why with my team, which only has 2 losses. So you were
offering Herbert and...
No, I was offering, just going to give him, it was Ramondre Stevenson and George Pickens is all I lost. And I would have gained Jalen Hurts, and then I was going to trade him for Justin Herbert. The guy said no, so I ended up just trading that for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly not a bad trade offer. You're still giving up, a top 15 running back for a 1Z position. So it depends on the replacement, but it is not a bad offer at all. But to go on with this, I just want to give this guy, I want to give him a draft grade. I don't know if we'll continue to give these comments. Yeah, because we are going to respond to every trade comment in our video. So if you have a trade, post it down below and we will give our thoughts on our future video. Now, as far as a trade grade go, I can't give it an A only because you are giving one of the few elite wide receivers, which are so hard to come by. But I will give it a B because of what you can do with that trade, what you can do with Jalen Hurts, because there's guys like Mike Wright that drafted him in the 2nd round ahead of Tyreek Hill. So I do think you can you don't have to sit with Chris Godwin and Jalen Hurts, right? So you can go and trade one of those pieces for a elite. Like, you could probably package them together right now after their weeks and maybe get a Barkley or McCaffrey. So you can upgrade. So I give it a B to a B plus. I mean, I think this was a savvy move and just well done, Mr. Gates.
Oh, gnarly.
So what do you think?
Yeah, I would definitely give it a Seb minus, which is with a C, so C minus.
C minus. Well,
C
that
minus,
is.
You dick.
That's quite the grade. All right, so let's get into. We have a couple buy and sell for the future weeks of the season, week 9 and beyond. We have a couple buy-sell targets. Do you want to start with yours?
How many you got?
I just got one today.
Okay, then yeah, I'll start with mine. Yours might be a little more intricate. So one of the guys that I think you should buy right now is going to be Pat Freiermuth. He's been a top 10 tight end on the season, yes, which is fantastic. It kind of makes him a little harder to get, but he's one of those guys.
I mean, top 10 is so easy though.
You can package him in a trade.
Yeah, easily.
Rest of the season, he should be top 5, top 3 tight end. The reason being is now this is the reason it's going to be nice to trade for him. You're going to have next week, which is one of the worst matchups against the tight end, and the week after that he's on bye. So he's going to have two kind of stinkers. I mean, he still might put up on the.
You might want to almost buy him then on that bye week.
Buying him
on that bye week.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
buy on the bye.
Let him play the bad matchup and then buy him on the bye.
Yep. Yeah. I like that in the way you preferenced it as a package trade, right?
Yeah.
He's not a guy you're going to go out and offer someone straight up for. Although you bought him earlier this season straight up for Lockett.
I did, yes.
And I ended up getting Justin Jefferson from that. But he's not a guy you're going.
Kyle Pitts.
You don't want to trade him 1-for-1, but I do like it because when you throw him into a package deal, the owner isn't clinging on to him, right? So you are able to just throw him in on any regular deal you have, and then the owner's not going to be like, oh, well, this is the difference maker, Pat Freiermuth. But it could really help your lineup in the end. So I like it as a package trade.
Yeah, now, mega reason you need to get this guy is his playoff schedule is juiciest as it can be, and same with the rest of the season after the bye week. All of the defenses he plays are trash against the tight end. So it's going to help you no matter what. If you can get this guy on your team and they don't notice.
Just like a guy we're going to talk about in a little bit in the video too as well, has the craziest, juiciest matchup, and he is such a buy low. Well, you'll find out.
Well, I'm going to guess that. I got to check at it.
Yeah, I think you know. So then I'm going to go for my buy candidate. My buy candidate is Michael Pittman. Now, I get it, Sam Ellinger, or however the freak you say it, he's starting now. The bottom line is that move wasn't a move for the Colts to win. They understand they are in rebuild right now. They have to, that was why they were benching Matt Ryan. They realized, hey, he's not a future QB. We need a top 10 pick, top 5 pick in order to get our future. We don't have this with Sam or Ryan. There's just no way. So they are clearly tanking and doing it right. But here's the thing of what I saw today with Sam Ellinger. He is willing to take that deep shot, which Matt Ryan doesn't even know what that word means. Deep? No, Matt Ryan doesn't know that anymore.
He also doesn't know what a red zone is.
Yeah, exactly. But Sam Ellinger was just dropping a couple bombs today. I saw, no, they weren't towards Pittman. But I almost couldn't put Pittman in this.
Pittman dropped one.
Pittman, did he drop a touchdown?
That wasn't a touchdown, but it was a big play.
Oh,
and it actually could have been
a
game changer for them to win for the field goal
range.
And
then as well, I almost couldn't put him in here because he gets a rushing or a rushing attempt, and he gets it down to like the half-yard line. Called the touchdown, reverse back. I'm like, well, you can't buy him at this point. Then he has a good game. But he's had him easily. This week he had 7 receptions, which is pretty good, but for 53 yards. Last week, 6 for 58. And the week before this was 3 weeks ago was pretty big, 13 for 134. So the reason why I say he's such an easy buy candidate for me is the guys you could go potentially offer and get a guy like Michael Pittman. And I do believe, even though Sam Ellinger isn't elite, that he's going to throw interceptions. He's going to do what Jameis did for the 30 for 30. He's going to make a lot of mistakes. So that offense is going to be on the field a ton. I mean, they are going to have to come back. Jonathan Taylor's value probably went down, but Michael Pittman's value at the same time went up because they aren't in good game scripts where they can just run the ball anymore. And the guys I think you get, like Khalil Herbert, he went 16 for 99 and 1 touchdown today. A lot of people think after this, he had more rushing opportunities than David Montgomery. That you can go out, that Khalil Herbert has taken that backfield and he's going to be that guy. Well, it's not that great of an offense.
I think a fumble was a major reason he got a lot more work this week as well.
So there was a
Montgomery fumble.
Okay, I did not see that, but he's been slowly rising, and people I've heard people been talking about this is Khalil Herbert taking over that backfield? Either way, I don't care. I think it's going to be a split backfield the rest of the season. And as well as that, this isn't the most prolific offense, even though Justin Fields is looking pretty damn good. I mean, he passed for 2 today, rushed for 1. He is looking good.
Did he get over 200 yards passing?
Yes.
Okay, I was wondering. He's been pretty bad lately.
Yeah, I know, but he's actually looking better. They're changing that offense around, and the bottom line is the running back core here, both him and David Montgomery had 15 rushes for 53 yards, 3 receptions for 22 yards. I think it's a realistic offer to go out and try to offer one of those for Michael Pittman, who hasn't had more than 1 touchdown this entire season.
Well, anyone who drafted him at this point is going to feel burned out by him. Like, I mean, they haven't gotten what they expected. You paid the top tier price to get this guy, and you're not getting it. So there's a good chance that they might be willing to give it off on a discount. Sometimes that draft capital sticks with people for a while.
I don't even think it's a discount.
It's been a while, so
it's these guys are out producing in both.
I get it,
and
it's owners.
Running backs are so hard to find right now, so I really think you can find a lot of owners going over that. I mean, you kind of touched on what you thought of it. Do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, me personally, I'm not gonna have any faith in Sam Ellinger yet. I'm more of a prove it before I do it. I know he had a good game.
You don't need to though, because he can have a
No, I get it.
game.
But then he can also have a game where he's playing like Justin Fields when he was in the beginning of the half, right?
Right.
Where it's they have to be on offense, they have to do this, but they can't get the first downs, they can't get the yardage because the quarterback isn't throwing it enough. They want to run it because they have a good running back.
But you can't run it though when you're down.
Nobody's had game tape other than preseason on Sam Ellinger. And yeah, he's a rusher. He feels like a run first quarterback, more like in the preseason.
You know what?
They have real game tape on him. So the fact that they do have that, it's gonna make his game plan a little bit different moving forward. Defenses are gonna adjust. You get guys that come out and they light the world on fire, and then they throw 6 touchdowns. Matt Flynn, and then he goes to the Seahawks, and then he's not gonna be the starter because of Russell Wilson. You got guys that are throwing 40 to 60 touchdowns in college. For Zappi on the Patriots. So he was in an offense that threw a lot. So yeah, he's going to have a lot of experience throwing. I don't know Sam Ellinger's college career, or if he was a 4-year starter and he threw a ton of touchdowns. But for me,
he was 4 years.
Okay, so if he's 4 years, then it gives me a little more confidence in believing in it. But at the same time, it's the NFL level. Defenses are going to adjust. And you're going to want to kind of figure out that before I would try to pay for it.
Yeah, I just only point.
That's the point. No, I get your point. Yeah. Is if you pay now, it's a lot cheaper than it is if it turns out that Sam Ellinger can just sling it. He could do what is it? The Commanders quarterback. Heineke, Taylor Heineke,
Mr. Heine.
So Heineke's not a good starting quarterback. However, he will hyper target Terry McLaurin. Kind of just like Fitzmagic would when back in the day. If you guys might have remembered on a starter, but he's a backup for a long time.
Yeah. All right. So let's. I think we covered Michael Pittman's value really well, and each way it could go. So what I hinted towards earlier on the Steelers' offense, it is obviously the running back Najee Harris, who has been ridiculously bad. But you kind of even touched on it a couple weeks ago. I just wanted to re-bring it up about his matchups were terrible coming up. And I wish I had the schedule in front of me. Producer, can you pull that up?
It's mostly green, I'll tell you that right now.
Well, it is all green, but let's have the producer just pull up this schedule right now. The schedule for Najee Harris is one of the most ridiculously easy schedules you'll ever see in a running back. And averaging, 10 points per game and a half-point PPR?
It might be less.
Everyone's willing to get him off his team.
Let's just say that there's a quarterback that has more rushing yards than him right now.
Yeah, Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
Hey, Seb, can you read that? I'm blind.
Where do we got? Point at it? Oh, okay, I got it. He's going to be playing the Saints, which this year is not the best defense, and then going to be playing the Bengals. Usually the Saints have a good run defense.
As Raider fans, that one hurt. But all right, past the Steelers,
the Bengals, the Colts, the Falcons, the Ravens, the Panthers. Oh gosh, dang the Raiders. That he'll get 0 yards.
He'll get 1,000.
He'll be injured by then. Mark my words.
How'd Kamara do?
The Ravens and Browns.
So these are just that is an incredible.
The Browns would be the last game of the season, which means that you're probably not in the playoffs at that point because it's over, unless they're in a weird league.
Either way, that is a ridiculously good schedule. So I'd go fill some offers for some very low players. Obviously, don't give any of your good starters for him. But even as a package, if you're about to do a trade, see if they'll throw in Najee. because people are just so low on this guy, and I think that schedule is amazing. I mean, it does not get better than that.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up when I did say that one time.
Yeah, and it's
Roll the
coming.
clip.
It's gonna come.
You know.
All right, and that's it for today's show. Don't forget to hit that bell and subscribe, like if you like this content, and comment if you want your trades featured on future videos, because we will do it. Thank you all for listening, and have a good day.
Happy Halloween.